Hello everyone, I'm Ace and today I'm going to show you the new FBA inbound shipments workflow. So first, what is this new workflow? Well, Amazon introduced a change. They replaced the old API with a new one. The old one was deprecated on January 22nd, so we pushed a change to all servers to enable the new API and to also introduce a new wizard in the Delta interface. This new workflow mirrors the sent to Amazon workflow you see in Seller Central. So if you're used to doing your shipments directly in Amazon, you might find this workflow familiar. As I mentioned, this new workflow is only available in Delta, as most of our new features. And what's different about this new workflow is now you have the flexibility to pack your boxes before or after doing the placements. You can also see up to 5 placement options along with their placement fees and an estimated shipping cost. Some other changes that Amazon introduced: now we have packing groups, so SKUs within a single packing group can be packed in a single box, while SKUs from different pack groups cannot be boxed together. And Amazon will group SKUs into pack groups based on various criteria such as size, whether they're hazmat, and other. There's another new feature: Amazon optimized inbound shipments. With this feature, you can qualify for a reduced or even zero placement fee as long as you send at least 5 identical boxes or pallets with an equal split of quantity and an equal mix of SKUs in each box. The optimized placement is typically the one with the highest number of fulfillment centers, but the combined placement fee and shipping cost will be the lowest. Preview is now forced, so you can no longer reset the preview. I'll show you this in a moment when we actually do an inbound shipment. You can still change the quantity for SKUs you added in the shipment by up to 5% or 6 units, whichever is greater, but this can now only be done after confirming the shipping details with Amazon. So let's go through actually creating an FBA shipment using this new workflow, and I'll walk you through all the changes. The first step is pretty much the same. The only difference is that we now no longer have the drop down for the prep guidance. This has been moved to step 3. On this step, we recommend using the feed option, which means Sellercloud will push box content to Amazon using our API, and this is a requirement to become eligible for the new optimized shipments. On the second step, there are no changes whatsoever. So you just add your SKUs like you used to. And we can move to step 3. The prep guidance has a few changes. Now you have a drop down where you can choose who will be doing the labeling and the prep. If this is a new item that has not been sent to Amazon before, you can click on Edit Prep Requirements, select a category, and enter the prep type. This will be pushed to Amazon. I'll also need an expiration date because I chose an expirable SKU. Amazon requires at least 105 days in the future for the expiration date. So this is where most of the changes begin during the boxing step. We used to have boxing after confirming placement, after the shipment was previewed. Now this is before the placements, and at this stage the shipment status will change to previewed. So at this step you can no longer change the list of SKUs and you can no longer edit quantities by more than 5%. So during the new boxing step, you have the option to skip the boxing step entirely and move straight to placements, in which case you will be returned back to boxing once you choose your placement option. but then your shipment will be locked to an LTL shipment, and you also have to provide pallet details. Another new feature here are the pack groups. Those are defined by Amazon, and you need to box each pack group separately. You can switch between them using the radio button here. In our case, we only have one. Other than that, you still do your boxing just like before. And once all pack groups are fully boxed, you can move to the next step, placement. During the boxing step, the shipment is already previewed, so you're no longer allowed to add or remove SKUs to the shipment without canceling it. And one note for SKU stack users: if you're used to doing the boxing step in the SKU stack app, you will need the latest version of the app. This is the new placement step. On this step, Amazon will provide up to 5 placement options, and you can see the fulfillment centers, the placement fees, and you can also get an estimated shipping cost for each of those placements by clicking on those arrows here. Keep in mind this estimated shipping cost is based on using small parcel Amazon partnered carriers. We also got an Amazon optimized inbound shipment with no fee, so we're going to choose this one. And you can see the details for all fulfillment centers and how the boxes should be split. Those placement fees respect your boxing options, so if you don't like the placement options, you can always go back to boxing, redo the boxes, and come back to the placement step to generate new placement options. Once you confirm your placement, the status of the shipment changes to working, and you can no longer go back to this step. If you have opted to skip the boxing step, typically you'll be able to see more placement options, but once you confirm a placement, you'll be sent back to the boxing step to confirm pallet details. Once you confirm a placement, you move to the next step, carriers, and at this step the shipment is also created in Seller Central, and we pull the Amazon shipment ID. For each shipment here, you'll need to choose whether it's a small parcel or LTL. If you skip boxing, this will be grayed out. You also have the option to edit pallet info for LTL shipments, although if you already provided this information on step 4, it will be carried over to this step. So for each shipment, you will need to also choose a ready-to-ship date. For LTL shipments, you will also need to choose a freight class, and it's also recommended to enter the declared value. This will be required if you're planning to use an Amazon partnered carrier. After you have entered the details for all shipments, you need to click on Get Carrier Options and choose a carrier for each shipment. Note that all small parcel shipments need to be shipped using the same carrier. Once Amazon provides the carrier options, for each shipment you need to choose a carrier. Note that the estimated shipping costs shown on the placements screen might be different from what you actually pay based on the options you choose here. Once you have selected the carrier options for all shipments, you can move to the last step, at which point you will no longer be able to make changes to the shipping details. If you'd like to do those changes, you will need to click the Reset Carriers button here, and then you can start over and choose everything again. During this last step, you can review all shipment details, and you can print box labels, pallet labels, shipping labels if you chose an Amazon partnered carrier. Otherwise, you have a field to enter the tracking number or PRO number for LTL shipments. You can also generate shipping labels from Sellercloud if you have your carrier credentials entered into Sellercloud. And once you click the green flag, the status of the shipment will be changed to shipped. At this stage, you can also change the quantity of all SKUs by up to 5% or 6 units, but this can currently only be done on Seller Central. Once you make the changes on Seller Central, you can use the query shipment action to update the quantity in Sellercloud. Thank you everyone for your time, and if you have any questions regarding the new workflow, don't hesitate to reach out to our support team or to your dedicated rep for assistance.